Hello, investors and degenerate gamblers. This is Beast McFeast with another hot ticker. Today, we're going to talk about SOFI. SOFI technology, but it might become SOFI Bank in the near future. So, what we're going to cover today, we're going to talk about what SOFI does, and it's a lot. We'll talk about major upcoming events that could act as catalysts for price increases. We're going to go over some important financials, and then talk about some price targets, both professional and my own. Before we get started, I want to be clear. I'm not a financial advisor and I do not endorse any specific tickers, investments, or investment strategies because investing involves risk and you should know your risk tolerance. And finally, investing is not a team sport. Diamond hands hold bags and pigs get slaughtered. So, what does SOFI do? A little bit of everything. It appears they want to be your one stop shop for everything finance as they move towards being a legitimate bank. So currently, they are not technically a bank, and they have a lot of partnerships to get these things done that we're about to talk about. They do loans. We're talking auto, student refi, home, personal loans, just about everything short of payday loans. They've started a brokerage service, and they actually have their own ETF, WKLY, weekly, which pays a small weekly dividend. Very small. Probably not anything anyone's going to be interested in, really, unless they get that number up. Recently, they partnered with a payment processor, Galileo, which is kind of similar to PayPal, and this brought them 79 million customers. So that was kind of a big deal. They offer credit cards and debit cards to people, and I would be surprised if they didn't end up getting into cryptocurrency at some point. Maybe offering their own wallet or exchange, or both. We'll see. And despite doing all this, they are not technically a bank. The big catalyst that's coming is a bank charter, which would allow them to conduct all the aforementioned services independently and capture all the gains from that. To give you an idea of how big of a deal the bank charter is, when their competitor Square got their charter, they went up 40% that week. SoFi might do the same. Another big catalyst would be when SoFi posts a positive EPS. They haven't done that yet. I don't anticipate that that'll happen in 2021, maybe at the end of 2022. So it's important to note that a lot of the estimates I'm seeing on this bank charter deal are estimating before the end of 2021. I've seen anywhere from the end of September to the end of October. No one any further out than that, but just to be careful, if you were to buy calls, you might buy longer dated ones, just in case. So let's look at some numbers. I know it's not the most exciting, but they're useful for the investors out there. So SoFi's debt is kind of high at $2.6 billion, but their assets are over $5 billion, so they can probably cover it if they have to. They can manage it at least. Their cash on hand is $450 million, so that's not bad. They could probably do most of an acquisition or a small acquisition with that. The most recent earnings per share was minus 46 cents, which looks pretty terrible. Except for a lot of this was because they acquired a bank. They went out and bought Golden Pacific. And the idea is that this bank would help make their bank charter easier. Faster, maybe. The yearly compounding growth of earnings per share is actually pretty high at 45% CAGR. So every year you're anticipating a 45% growth and then an additional 45% the following year for 3 to 5 years. Currently, their price to book is pretty rough at 2.18. If this was any other industry other than finance, that would be fine. But they're essentially double the price to book of all their competitors. That's a little bit concerning. It could potentially fall a long way if people lose confidence. And their price to sales is actually lower than a lot of their competitors by about 15 to 20% at 2.69. Some of this might be because of investor hesitancy because they haven't posted a positive EPS yet. All this being said, they are still priced well below their peers, and they're at no more of half the market cap of their closest competitors, being Square, Robinhood, and Upstart, just to name a few. I mean, if they were priced at Robinhood's initial public offering price, we'd be at just over double the price per share currently. And I personally believe this has some more upside than Robinhood has. Now, in terms of pricing this thing, it appears to have pretty strong support at $14.50. I don't anticipate it going below that. I mean, that support is over a month old, and it's just been moving up since then. The analysts I'm seeing are placing it in the $16.50 to $30 a share range in the next 12 months. Currently, it's like $17.50, so it's in the range and is likely to grow. Most of the analysts are on the high end of that estimate as well. I would estimate about a $70 price target by the end of 2022 due to them having their hands in so many things, and they've been growing their customer base quite rapidly. Also, they're offering very competitive rates in terms of fees for their services, and they might steal a lot of the younger customers from the more traditional banks that just aren't willing to go at a lower price. These guys don't have like public offices you walk into, they're online, they don't have that overhead. So chances are that this has some big upside to it. So thank you for watching. Please feel free to hit that like button and go ahead and leave any questions or ticker recommendations in the comments. Good luck. Get rich. Bye.